Hello to everybody. September has started. Back to school is the routine. Everybody's back to normal living, to the routine of every day. The cabins along the lakes are all empty as we come back to our homes and to our classrooms. It is also the time where we see a lot of people in the fields harvesting canola or whatever crop they've put in, always hoping to have a good yield and also having the right weather to yield that beautiful crop that awaits us, as it's supposed to be a booster crop. I would like that we focus in the next few months on the family life. Pope Francis came out with a beautiful document called The Joy of the Gospel, and that's his conclusion of the two synods that happened in Rome on family life, as we are trying to search for ways on how we can improve it and to find ways on how we can make it a better place of living out our faith. And we know that in creation, in the second story of creation, we see God taking some soil, breathing, we say, in the nostrils of that mud man person and made it into a human being, giving him life, giving him love. And soon afterwards, God discovers that it is not good that man should be lonely or alone, so that he gives him a woman to be at his side. And so that is the beginning of the first couple. That is the beginning of our first parents, we say, and afterwards they gave birth to two children, Abel and Cain. And right from the beginning we know, or we learn, or we see how family life has been always difficult to live out, as the parents try to transmit and to give as a legacy to their children the family values that they have carried before them to their children, that it's not always that easy. And the legacy that we have within us is to carry that love and life of God to our fellow people and to our children. We know that is very difficult in our times, and that is the story of, we could say, of the Old Testament. If we read through the Old Testament, we can see of all the difficulties that occurred in family life. And yet that is the place where God has chosen to give us really who he is, by telling us who he is, but also and especially by telling us how we give that love and life to our children as parents and as grandparents. Passing on the legacy of family life, the legacy of our Christian values, the legacy of learning how to live as families. Today, like yesterday, and even in the Old Testament, we see all the difficulties that there is, the tensions that exist, the violence that may even come about in our families. Yet, God believes that is where man is first to learn about love and life. And therefore, I think we have to really look on how we are living out our family lives, to realize, so that we can improve it and change it, so that we can truly be these witnesses for which we were created, to bring this life and love. We are the stewards of that, which God has breath given into us through our nostrils, so that we could have life and to the full. We can have perhaps the example of a good example is the Holy Family, with Joseph, Mary, and Jesus as part of it. The three of them lived together in Nazareth, but it all started off in Bethlehem, and after just a few days after Jesus is born, they are chased away. They are persecuted. Persecuted world of today, we have that. And they ran away to save the child's life. And then from there, they went back to Nazareth, where he grew up. And we know that when he was 12 years old, what happened? He wanted to stay behind in the temple to speak to the doctors of the church. And he did it, and his parents were all worried and perplexed. Why did you do that to us? Don't we have the same issues sometimes with our own teenagers? How we don't understand why they do certain things, and how they have difficulties sometimes understanding us. But yet they are called, just like Jesus did, to live in family life, to find that fulfillment and the greatness of family life, a place where they can realize their dreams and a place where they can be themselves. That's what Jesus and Mary Joseph shows us. As Jesus lived in Nazareth with them, was obedient to them, as we say. So as we see family life and our creation all seems to be in one event in which God made us the stewards of that love and of that life. We can perhaps question ourselves, how do we continue to bring that love and life to the world? What are our challenges for bringing a family life today? Perhaps that's something we can keep for another day. And at the end of this month of September, we have the day for our catechists, and we pray for them, but we also hope that we are all catechists. We have to remind ourselves that we are all catechists. We are called to teach that faith to our children, give witness to our children, and to be disciples of Jesus. And they will be disciples of Jesus too in our world of today. And we are catechists. We teach the faith. We give witness to that faith with joy and happiness. And that's why this document is called The Joy of the Gospel. Thank you very much. We'll see you next month.